Yes, it's me, Giles Blake, as you all know. Welcome to Parents Breakfast. Here's my breakfast. Give me a second. I just got to set up everything like I always do after the fact. That's not the right filter. There we go. Sexy filter. 8 millimeter. Alright, let's get this going. No, that's too small. That's a little too dark. Oof, mustache. Some of these are just funny. Like, you look at some of these filters and you're like, what on earth did someone think that was a good idea for? Okay. I think we're gonna be good in a second. Just gotta put the title. Okay. And boom. There we go. Welcome to the Painter's Breakfast Show. I'm your host, Giles Blake. Bienvenidos. Welcome to breakfast. What are you having for breakfast? Tell me in the comments, please. I love to hear from you. I made kind of like a egg tostones. No, not really tostones. Kind of an open face burrito. Tortilla skins type of thing. It's very delicious. You should try it. I'd share it with you, but I can't reach you. So you just have to deal and believe me when I say it's delicious. Mmm. Got my café con leche. Wow. Oat. Leche de oat. Or oat de leche. I guess it's leche de oat. No. G. So, I've been having an interesting week. I went to a little get together with my friend for his girlfriend's birthday. On Saturday, there's whole family. You would have thought there was like a quinceañera or something. There were so many people. Fire pits and food. It was very nice. I'm very happy about it. Once again, got to do the same shit I do every year. Every Monday, got to do laundry. Working on a bunch of art things. I'm going to show you the design I have for like the new show t-shirt. Get your opinions on it. See what you think. See if it's a banger. If it's not, I'll make another one. I'll design a new one. Forgot to grab it. I know. So professional. So professional. And I'm back. Hold up. Yeah, I've been thinking about what I want to do. I've been thinking about what I want to do as far as the shirts. Because new season, new life, new everything. So I was thinking kind of something around this. You know? Have like the cassette where the pocket is. And it'll say Pequeño Podcast. Because we're in season 4. The Pequeño edition. I've been filming so many things and doing so many things. Like it's not a constant season just yet, but it will be. And then on the rear, it's going to say PFPP. I'm not sure the colors, or it'll be black and white, or I don't know yet. You know, I'm kind of working on it. I'm figuring it out, as it were. I think a lot of times you have to you got to play with ideas. I think that's the joy of all this stuff. Like, art is art is much more flexible than one would think. Needs beans. Messed myself up there. Should have made refried beans to go with it. I'm sorry. Oh well. We live that life sometimes. Where the good ideas come afterwards. I've mostly been trying to work on art videos and like little ideas and stuff like that. This season's always really good for me as far as like making YouTube videos. So I try to do that every once in a while. I've learned as the years have gone by to do seasons rather than constant stuff all the time nonstop, because burnout's a real thing, and I've been doing YouTube for like 11 years. So like I was a partner before they changed the numbers. I'm working on getting to be a partner again, but it takes time to make 1,000 followers. But my numbers are good though. I'm getting a lot of views, at least for me anyways. It feels good. I figured 5 more years I'll have 1,000 followers. We're good. No, I'm trying to enjoy myself and come about all that stuff. I had for those who follow me on any other network, I got featured in an article for Zard magazine. I posted about it everywhere. So, I just feel really great about it. I feel proud. I showed it to my family. They're super proud of it. It's nice. I think the hard journey for artists a lot of times is that there's a lot of kind of like blind hopefulness. With like little to no response whatsoever. Like anywhere. You have to figure out whether that's enough for you. Whether making art is enough. Because you're just making art. And then there's the whole AI thing and all that stuff, which, my personal opinions on the AI art stuff is I don't like it. I don't like the idea of anybody who's putting artists' work into a database without their permission and then making money off of it. Like, to me, that's plagiarism. And they should be sued for it. Like, I think it's flattering that you add a bunch of artists that you think are great to your supercomputer. I don't think it's okay that you do it without people's permission. This feels like theft. Particularly on the idea that you're doing it to make money, which is, really what we've trying to do as artists off of our own work. And the idea that somebody else is making money off of something that we're struggling to make money off of is kind of gross, you know? It's definitely not something that any of us have agreed to. Trying to find a good filter. I like that one. That one's better. And it's just, I don't know, it's frustrating. It's weird to see people who are like adamantly against us being upset about it though. Who aren't making artwork. They're just like, well, you know, everything comes to a certain point. I'm just like, shut up. Side note, if you're someone who says devil's advocate when you want to say something controversial, I hate you. I don't want you to know that. I don't like you. Hey, how's it going? So, for the most part, beyond the worry about plagiarism, things are well. I think there's always a fear. Good morning. I think there's always a fear that when you take good photos that people really like of your artwork, that they're just going to, that, you know, someone's going to print it out and steal it. And it's horrible, you know? It sucks. Hate you? No, of course not. Why would I hate you? No, AI artists. AI art. Because I've been working on a few things recently, just kind of playing with patterns and textures and stuff. So I've been doing kind of like little studies. Here we go. Put a little something on there. And just trying to figure out all the little bits and pieces and bops and whatnot of everything that's going on. And it can be kind of difficult at the same time, but it can also be kind of liberating to give yourself the opportunity to just make art, you know? Just make it. Just go for it, make it, do all these things. To find yourself free in your creativity, where you're not kind of forced to, where you're not forced to essentially follow like a linear perspective. No lines, none of that stuff. Like you're just going and doing and finding and moving and everything. It just feels necessary, you know, to try and make art that is representational of like your moods, and a lot of times even like your kind of flashes of creativity that you can't really put down in a full piece. So yeah, that's what all the thumbnail stuff is. It's the opportunity to take your good work, or your work that's going to become good one day, and compartmentalize it. My hair is doing crazy shit right now. Give me a sec. And yeah, you know, it's just fun. I try to do like about a page a day these days. I mean, I've taken a little break in the last week or so. Because like I said, I'm just burning out. Thank you so much. I'm glad you like them. It's just hard sometimes, you know? Like, I've been going nonstop for over 30 years. So, at some point in time, you find yourself slowing down. And you can either let yourself slow down or you can keep pushing forward. But the problem is, with pushing forward, it goes back into the whole aspect of there's no outright reward for taking your time or moving fast. So if you're looking for some type of pat on the back as an artist, sometimes that doesn't come, you know? Or it does, but it comes way later. Like, I think some of the funnier things about my life is that, like, I put out a bunch of art books. They're phenomenal. I love them. They're getting traction now, and it's like 3 years later. When they came out, they kind of had like a slow fizz. And then they went up as far as popularity, and then they went back to kind of a slow fizz. And now they're starting to go up again. And that's really, you know, it's amazing and exhausting at the same time because you're suddenly expected to answer these detailed questions about possibly an art style you don't do anymore, or at least a creative mindset that you've already moved away from. I did so many, with the last art book, I did so much abstract art because my brain was all over the place. Since then, I feel way more focused about everything. I have more kind of a, by letting myself do all these kind of ideas that I typically wouldn't do, and just play with colors and play with textures and do all that stuff, I found myself more free and allowing my brain to just kind of open up into these ideas of like art and life and love and perspective and like hope and, you know, accepting pain and doing all these things. Like, I made that book when my dog died, so I was like, what do I do? How do I find focus through all this pain? And the abstracts really kind of grabbed hold, and as you get towards the end of them, you start to see more kind of like a shaking it off and becoming more along the lines of like what I was working on, and it's evolving and becoming better as it goes on, through the big pieces, through the smaller pieces, through like, it was this fear I had before that like I couldn't do the exceptional like detailing that I did with my large pieces on my small pieces because I just didn't have enough space and I couldn't figure out how to fit all those things going on. Like, it's very difficult to work on like a giant piece of canvas that's like 5 feet by 5 feet and then go to a piece that is, you know, 23 inches by like 31 inches. Like, it's insane. Like, you're using completely different tools and you're having to see things from completely different perspectives, and it's got to fit and it's got to, the spacing and like the time and all these things. So it's interesting in a lot of ways. Like, I'm trying to finish the last piece for the zine that I want to put out in December. And I don't know that I will, honestly. I've given myself enough time in my life that I feel if I can, I will. And if I can't, because it takes more time for me to just be honest with my art, then, you know, it'll take more time. It's not a race, I guess, in a lot of ways. I'm not trying to finish something before I fall off of a cliff. I'm trying to make something where I build a mountain, you know, with a shovel. It's just interesting. All right. Well, I gotta go. I got lots of stuff to do. I'm sure you do too. Put in the comments in the video what you had for breakfast and if it was good. It's always fun. I got a lot of art stuff to do today, so I'll be sharing stuff with you along the way. I promise. All right. Ciao, and have a good day. Bye. Later, galeras. Love you.